Here we go. All right, guys. Hello, the scariest fearless women. My name is LK Scott, and I'm here with one of my good friends from all the way from Lawrence, Kansas. Let me tell you, when I first met her, um, she was a joy. She was and is a joy to be around. Like she made me step out of my comfort zone. She's been through a lot in her life, and also she's a great woman of God. I'm glad that I was able to have my enjoy my college experience with her. This is Miss Jasmine Moore, so I'm gonna give her a round of applause all the way from Lawrence, Kansas, which is 8 hours away from me. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing well. So the reason why Jasmine is on this segment today is because in the month of October we would like to give out information on breast cancer awareness. Now we know that breast cancer is not just catering to it, just don't go to white people or black people. It has no color. And women go through this, even men go through this on a daily basis. And so I have Miss Jasmine coming in and discussing her journey. She is almost to the end of the race, and I see that she's at the end of the race. And I just wanted her to speak on her journey. So how I'm gonna go back to the first reaction. What did Why did you go to the doctor?
I found a lump. I actually had taken a nap in a bad bra. You know, everybody's got that laundry day bra.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the way that I happened to be situated in the bed, it pinched my breast. And in that moment of reacting, I was rubbing the spot that got pinched, and I was like, that feels a little unusual. If you've ever nursed, and you know, when you have like a clogged duct, when you were nursing, it felt kind of like that. It was about the size of a frozen pea. I could feel it on my fingertip. And I had a checkup scheduled anyway. So I kept an eye on it for a couple of months. And when I went in for my checkup with my doctor, I just was like, hey, by the way, I feel this spot. Do you think it's something that we should look at? And she said yes. Um, it was a very quick process from there. Um, and I went in like the following week, and they did an ultrasound on the spot. And that same day, they did a biopsy. That was like a Friday. The following Thursday, I got the call that it was a cancerous lump.
Okay. And so that initial react what was your initial reaction to them telling you that you do have breast cancer, and then tell me what stage are you in?
Um, so it was, you know, initially, whenever you hear that word cancer, you're like, oh, well, okay, it's cancer. And then when they said it's stage one, they did a mammoth. So the day that I got my ultrasound, they did an ultrasound and a mammogram. They didn't see any other spots, or they biopsied two spots, but there was just the one spot that was cancerous. Um, so it was initial shock, but also a lot of relief hearing that it was stage one, hadn't spread anywhere, and that it was only one spot. So I was like, okay, it's me against this spot.
Mhm.
Let's get it going. Let's do whatever we got to do to get it going, because I still got work to do. I've got a family, two little people, my husband, these dogs that were barking at the very beginning. I hope I got it to mute.
No, you're fine.
Um, you know, I was like, I've got work to do, so let's get to this fight. And Jesus, it's a whole pandemic going on outside. Why now?
Man, talk about it's a whole pandemic on now. You done gave me this. Now I gotta just
Yeah.
deal with this. Like it's a lot piled on you, and I know that you are super mom, super wife, super whatever you got to be. Have you had to lay off some of those hats and allow like your husband to help you a little bit more, or anybody else to help you a little bit more, so then you are able to have clarity in your life during this journey?
Absolutely. I think that, you know, we can. read the same old scriptures over and over again, like Proverbs 31, and hear what we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to be. But when you get to different stages in your life, God will reveal different things in those scriptures to you. And I think one of the things that I've really, was revealed to me was that the Proverbs 31 woman, she did a lot, but she also had help. And so it says she had male and female servants, and they were all taken care of. So those are people who helped her do the things that she needed to do. And in my case, I don't have servants, but I've been blessed with family, a great church family, my friends, my husband. My kids were gone for a month. All of August, they were with my mom and my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, my sister. And just that time to take in the reality of what was going on and what was changing. I had to have surgery and have this port put in. I had to just let my body rest because chemo is a beast. And so allowing my family and friends to help me, people brought meals, people came and helped do dishes. Like my village has really surrounded me throughout this whole process so far. And without them, boy, it'd be a rough day in the Moore house. That's all I can say.
Like, get away from
me! Yeah, for real. And then through all of this, my husband's also had some health issues come up. So he was recently diagnosed as epileptic. So, it's been a whole journey since June that has happened. And like I said, without our family and friends, it'd have been a rough day.
Man, well, I really commend you. Now I have to ask you this. I know my girl had long flowing hair. She's been having long flowing hair since I've met her. Like, if you slept beside her, you go get hair in your mouth, okay? If she didn't have it up. How did that journey, like, how did you feel about that journey, the part of all that hair and you had to let it go?
It was interesting because when my doctor told me that because of the type of chemo that I'm going through, that I would lose my hair, in the doctor's office that day, I did cry. And it was almost like a knee jerk, like it wasn't like, oh, it was just like, it just happened. And it was one of those things that, like you said, I've always been known for my hair. And so I was like, okay, this is going to happen. And so my mom was already scheduled to come visit before I started chemo or anything. And so when she came, we cut my hair so that I would have a little bit more control, because I didn't know if it was just going to be like one day, okay, it's gone, or if it was going to come out little by little. I wouldn't say it came out little by little, but I have a lot of hair. Yeah. So when it did come out, it was, big clumps. Once I, got done combing it, and it was only, my hair was no more than 2 or 3 inches long at that time. So it was, when I did finally cut it off, it was kind of a relief because I knew it was going to happen. So it was like I didn't have that weight that hanging over my head anymore of, okay, it's today that I'm just gonna have to cut it off, or am I gonna have another week? And so I did cut it off, and I've documented all of that just to kind of help myself process, what was happening. And it's been weird not having hair. I finally got to see what my scalp looks like. There's this little mole up here. I got a nice round head. I guess I was relieved about
that. Your head is very shapely for a bald head. I love it.
I was surprised.
Yeah,
I was really surprised. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I thought I was going to have dents or something in it, but
now you can feel the wind blowing.
Girl, that wind is out of control. I sweat more. I think that was what was weird. I didn't think I would. Either that or the sweat that's always been happening just doesn't have anything to get absorbed by now. So it was freeing. And I think because I knew that it was coming, it wasn't as, and I took the control of cutting it first. So I think because I was able to have some control over it, it wasn't quite as jarring as it could have been, but it was, it's been interesting. It's funny to see people when I'm out and about because they look, and because the natural hair movement and the big chop thing has been such a thing, and then, you know, something like the Black Panther with the Dora Milaje having bald heads. On one hand, I see white folks that look like they want to ask, and are you going? And especially if I don't have makeup on, like, are you okay? Was this a choice? And then Black folks, they're kind of like, she might have just cut it off.
Yeah, that's how it
You
is
know,
now. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it's interesting to see people's reactions. Little kids look more than adults though. So it's just been a change, just a change.
Yeah. Well, I love how you have went and you have, I like how you said that you took control of the situation instead of letting the situation control you. So I really commend you on that. And I love how, during your journey, you have um, allowed us to be in your journey by, going on Facebook and telling us how you feeling and you being your authentic self and saying, look, I'm having a rough day, but in spite of, I thank God, I'm having a good day, and I
Hmm.
thank God, and I love how you are taking control of this and not letting it control you. So my next question to you is, what are you going to do from now on, now that you have been through this journey? Like, what is something different you're going to do in your life?
Um, I think that the biggest thing for me has been um, taking people up on their offers to be a part of my life. Um, because I'm the oldest, and so I've always been, what do you need? What else can I do for you? And people have always, if you need anything, when the kids were born, give me a call, or if you need this, or if do you need a hand? And I've always been very independent and also very competitive, and so not by nature, and so not wanting to let people in and see that more vulnerable side of myself. But I think through all of this, God has shown me his love and grace and mercy time and time again through people. And when I've called people, they've been there, like that, and no questions asked, no expectations. And that has been so relieving, and comforting, and very humbling. So I think just letting people be there.
Mm, I love it. You are the definition of what the scariest fearless woman looks like. And it's beautiful. Like, not because we're on here, but I'm dead serious. Like, I really commend you. I might not talk to you a lot, but I want to let you know publicly that I love you, Jazz, and you are doing a phenomenal job as a
Likewise.
mother, as a wife, as being involved in church, and everything else that you got going on in your life. And so, with that being said, you are surviving and you are thriving, and you
Thank you.
continue to move forward. Okay. Is there any
As
advice you would like to give to the scariest fearless woman as far as being a woman?
far as being a woman, be you. And whether that's you with hair, with no hair, big, little, black, white, whatever it is that God has for you to do, that thing that's in the back of your, in the back of your head when you are quiet, when you have your quiet time, listen to it. It may not be comfortable. You may not think it's going to be fun, but when I tell you, if you let yourself get out of the way, and listen to the spirit when it speaks, you'll be happier and um, have less, have a much easier time in life in general. His road isn't always easy or comfortable, but it's a lot easier than fighting against it. So listen,
And you ain't
listen when the
lying.
spirit speaks.
Yeah, we just had that conversation.
Yeah, yeah, for real, for real. Listen when it speaks.
Mhm. Well, I hope all of you guys have gathered your chicken nuggets and dipped them in Chick-fil-A sauce, just like I said, because she done brung in some nuggets for you guys. If you need to get in contact with her, I'm pretty sure if you look at Jasmine Moore, she'll pop up and just talk to our messenger, and she will give you some advice, guys. Well, that's all we have for our surviving and thriving for breast cancer awareness in October. We will see you guys later, and you guys be fearless. Say goodbye, Jasmine.
Bye, y'all.